Welcome to Club Doomware. Apparently games are still getting ported to the Sega Saturn. Like, yeah, there used to be official ports of games back in the 90s. Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, Duke Nukem. Hell, it was pretty well known for its arcade ports, like Daytona USA and Virtual Cop. But like I said before in a previous video, the Sega Saturn been having a homebrew renaissance. And that includes some homemade Saturn ports of non-Saturn games. So let's check it out. Now, a couple things to note before the deep dive. These are fan-made projects that you can download for free. And they typically come in ISO files, which means in order to run them, you'll need something like a Sega Saturn emulator. I personally like to use Midnaffin. If you do have a real Sega Saturn, and you want to play the games on official hardware, you'll need something like a Saru cart, but I didn't feel like downloading and figuring out all the GitHub stuff, so I just got a pseudo Saturn Kai cart instead. That just lets you play whatever you burn on a CDR, which is pretty easy to do with these games using image burn. Starting with a little something more on the modern indie side, we got Celeste. Well, not Celeste. Celeste Classic, the old Pico 8 John, that you can unlock as a mini-game in Celeste. This is available on itch.io, and apparently was made with the Joe engine. That's cool. Now, the controls in Celeste are pretty standard, but I appreciate this port gives you multiple options. Both B and Z are jump, and C and Y are dash. You wouldn't think that'd make a big difference, but it saved my ass a couple times, and now I've become accustomed to jumping with the B button and pressing Y for the dash. Just a nice little quality of life feature. But I suck at this game, so let's move on to the next one before I embarrass myself with this B-roll footage. So, remember in my first video about the Sega Saturn, I talked about how someone fixed the Saturn port of Doom? Well, now the Saturn's officially the go-to place for 5th gen console FPS games. Well, I guess this one's more like 3rd, 4th gen, but you know what I mean. Not only have people been making homebrew FPS games for the Saturn, they've also been porting games like Wolfenstein 3D and Unreal to the Saturn. Now you too can storm the factory where they make Yeezy foam runners, steal them, and sell them at scalper's price on your Sega Saturn. Now, I'm gonna be real with you, this probably ain't the best way to play Wolfenstein 3D. This is the only case I've ever seen the get psyched screen actually be a loading screen. And strafing's kinda weird. It's like, the strafe button is one of the shoulder buttons, but it's not like, it's weird. You hold one of the shoulder buttons and then strafe. You don't just like strafe one direction or the other with the shoulder button. I don't know why they did that. My guess is it was some kind of limitation. The Unreal port ain't got that problem, but the Unreal port is more of a demo. You like get the intro of the campaign, a little bit of shooting here and there, and then you get a level that's just a straight up reference to the My House Doom wad and stuff. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, significantly less content. But both of these are still fun to play through. So Tomb Raider 1 got an official Saturn port back in the day. You know what didn't get an official Saturn port? The rest of the Tomb Raider games. But now there's a Tomb Raider 2 demo that you can get. It even includes an opening cutscene. Now, unfortunately, like Celeste, I'm kind of bad at this. Now, there are apparently other ports that people are working on. Like, I've heard through the grapevine there's a Metal Gear Solid port and a Final Fantasy VII port, but nothing I could really play at the moment. And like I said, the homebrew and ROM hacking scene for the Saturn is like blowing up. So you can probably expect more projects like this in the future. Oh, what if we got Tekken 2 on the Saturn? Oh, if only I knew how to code. But yeah, if you a Sega Saturn owner, or you got a working emulator and you want to try these out, I'll leave links in the description and or pin comment. This was just a fun little informative video I wanted to do for y'all, but I'm out of things to say, so I'll catch y'all the next time. Sweet nectar.